not knowing what they're doing, and they're going to go in there and just lose their shirt. I've seen it happen multiple times. Now, this process has been around in Texas with the tax laws for 150 years. It's been like this since time immemorial. It's always going to be like this. But the reality is, with that volume of foreclosures in just one market, 4,000 a month, even sophisticated people like me that know what we're doing, we have a team of people to support us, we can't afford them all. There's just too many of them. So this process is very scalable. And we've worked with a large team that's been doing this for a very long time. Over 15 years in fact. So what this means for you is, don't struggle like I did. Don't go down there and fly to the US and drive properties and go to the auctions and do all your due diligence. And I was only doing this in one marketplace. So don't do what I did and try and learn it on your own. We've really built a better mousetrap. We're now working with the teams doing this significantly longer than I have. They have scale. They work in different markets. We've got but our team has 14 different markets covered. We have a team of 28 people, so your realtors, your property inspectors, your appraisers, your mortgage brokers. So they go to the property beforehand. They know everything that it's going to take to fix it, to refinance it, to sell it. So we know all the numbers going into the property. And then we know all the numbers coming out of the property. So we know what our profits are built in right out of the gate. Who would like to have that level of due diligence done for you? That's okay. Excellent. And they also have built buyers lists of people like me that are renovators, people that are looking for specific houses in luxury space, and even just retail selling on MLS. All of these are multiple exit strategies, so that even if a property is waiting to be redeemed over the 6 months, by the time that 6-month clock expires, it's already sold. So that's why the longest timeline for closing and everything is typically 7 months. And higher priced homes in the Texas marketplace, and I saw this live at the auctions, way less competition. There's a lot of people out there that watch that show or on TV, and they're out there, they're bidding on $25,000, $50,000, $60,000 properties, which is what I did, and I did well. But there's a lot of people bidding on them, especially now with the TV stuff. But once you get higher in price, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, the competition gets really thin. Because even people that have a lot of capital, they buy 2 or 3, they're done. And there's another 35 of them up on the auction block that particular auction. It happens the first Tuesday of every month. So what we've developed is a system where you can participate and work with other investors, if that's your style, to be able to work with these higher priced, higher margin homes, because they're in better communities, they're typically gated, they're larger, don't need renovations, because they're better taken care of. And you can participate in those profits without having the budget to buy them on your own. Do you follow? So we'd like to be able to participate in a $1 million property as opposed to a $50,000 property with double the margin by show of hands. Fantastic. So we're going to go over an example. So property bought at $30,000. It's worth about $150,000, so our discount is 20 cents on the dollar. We sold that property for $140,000, and you might think $10,000 discount isn't very significant, which it certainly isn't in Calgary. However, it really is in the US. Rents are a lot lower. You'd be shocked at what a $25 rent difference per month that Delta will have rented or vacant, and a $10,000 to $15,000 discount is where you start getting more offers in the US. Just fundamentals of it. So sell at $140,000, your profit's $110,000, and your ROI on that particular deal would be 367%. So who'd like to get that kind of return on their money? Is that way up? Both hands! Yeah. Give someone a high five and say, that's the return I want. That's the return I want. And that's so thinking you can do 2 of those in a year. Oh, man. All right. I know it works. So we've partnered with somebody who works in 14 different markets. We have a system to scale so they can source profitable properties on a consistent basis. They've been doing this for a very long time. They've got a very good team, and they're even looking at expanding this business model into another market. It's a turnkey system where all you have to do is watch the process from your computer from the comfort of your own home, sitting in your bunny slippers, or whatever slipper of your choice. I'm not going to judge. and watch the process making money. You get to see the property that's been purchased, you get to see the strategy we're using, you get to see whether it's a second loan, first mortgage foreclosure, whether it was a tax auction sale, and this team will go out and do marketing in between auctions, because auctions every month, first Tuesday, right? And some other counties are a little bit different, but they're doing marketing, they're doing direct marketing, they're doing online marketing, they're developing deals in between auctions as well to make sure that there's always deals going into the funnel for our investors. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the most work you probably have to do, if you so chose, was to take about 10 minutes of time and watch your computer and see what's going on. Who thinks they can do that? By show of hands. Who thinks they can do that right now? By show of hands. Who thinks they can spend that 10 minutes no matter what's going on in your life? By show of hands. Terrific. So the other great things about this strategy is it's a low barrier to entry. So traditionally, real estate has started with about 50K. If you're going to do a joint venture or do US real estate, that's what I started with, $50,000 homes. It starts about $50,000. And my vision, along with my partner from Edmonton, which I will meet at some point if we come to other events, is that we want to create many different options, a shelf of investments that are joint ventures and passive and active so that everybody can get in. Right? That everybody has an option for them, no matter what their starting line is, no matter what their education level is, no matter what their style is. We want to have an option for everybody. So we wanted to create a lower barrier option for Canadians to get into US real estate. Plus, take over a lot of that work effort and the burden and the BS, quite frankly, of dealing with a lot of the challenges with US investments. So currency exchange. How do you get your money down there and not get totally kicked in the teeth with the exchange? How do you deal with the US tax consequences? It's always who's concerned about taxes? They're going to invest in the US, which go back. Everybody. Always the taxes. So we take that off the table. So no ITIN, no US tax return to file. None of that stuff because it's a Canadian to Canadian investment. So you're dealing with us in Canada, we take care of the currency risk, we take care of all the tax reporting, we take care of all of that stuff so you don't have to. And then also no liability. So who's worried about somebody slipping on their walk and tripping and potentially suing you and going after Canadian tax? That's always the other half of the coin. And liability and tax protection are teeter-totter. One goes up, the other one goes down. So our very large corporate structure in the US prevents any risk of that because we also have insurance in addition to a corporate structure that makes it impossible for them to ever know you exist. And your agreements between us and Canada, you're not even on the radar. You're not even a target that's possible. So would that help you sleep better at night? No taxes, no liability? By show of hands? Awesome. So I want you to get out your pens and paper again. This activity has two parts. How many? Two. Excellent. So I want you to figure out what your financial freedom number is. And what I mean by that is the following. Take your current expenses, entertainment included. If you go on vacation once a year, it costs $2,000. Calculate that in. Cover all your expenses you currently have. Your car, your house, your wife, how often you go for dinner. What's the baseline? If you had that coming in passively from investments, you wouldn't need to work anymore. Agreed? Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. So think about what that number is. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on a monthly basis, because not everybody's always thought about this. You can estimate ballpark numbers a little bit if you haven't, don't have exact numbers. Well, I'm not sure how much that loan cost me, or don't make this too granular. And I'll give you 5 minutes to do that, starting right now. So while you're working through that, Blake's going to come around with a magic bag. There will be a draw for a prize. So if you can please put your business card in the bag, or a sheet off your notes with your name, phone number, and email into the bag, then you're eligible for the draw. Got about a minute and a half left. I want to check in. How's everybody doing? Who's finished? Raise your hands. Okay, who needs more time? Raise your hands. Who needs more time? By show of hands, please. Are we almost done? Almost done? Okay, we need about 30 more seconds. Okay, so please start wrapping that up. What we found is, in many cases, the number that you come to. Okay, everybody stop chatting. Okay, the number tends to be a little bit less than you think. So who had a number that's a little bit lower than they thought it would actually be to cover everything, by show of hands? Yeah, a couple? Okay, fantastic. So I want you to get a partner real quick. Choose an A to B. Does everybody have a partner? We're going to do this really quick. Everybody have a partner? Does anybody not have a partner? Please stand up. Go to the back. Pair up.
Does anybody else have a partner?
So you guys can pick who's A, who's B, and who starts. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to share what you came up with, starting now. Whoever A is, A goes first. Okay, A's, wrap up the next 25 seconds and we're going to switch. I'll tell you when to switch. Okay, switch, B's, off you go. Share with your partner whether it was larger or smaller. The number you got?
Yeah. So I could eat like 8 or 9 times. So we're what about you? I have some the next 20 years, my and that's because I'm the month overall, I'm comfortable doing that.
So now for part 2. I want you to write down 5 things. How many things? 5. 5 things you've always wanted. Things on your bucket list. The sports car you've always wanted to drive. The dream house you've always wanted to build. That trip around the world with a significant other you've always wanted to take. Think big here. The big stuff. Everything past financial freedom. Everything past that number that you thought of. Because what happens after that stuff is the big dreams. Then you can go after the things you've always wanted. So, think big here. Put down 5 things, maybe about 2.5, 3 minutes to finish that. And what happens then is the purpose of this exercise. So financial freedom, 10. You don't ever have to work again. What happens next? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about those 5 things, write it down, start it down. Want to check in? How are we doing on our list of 5? Who's finished? By show of hands. Okay, about half. Who needs more time? By show of hands. Okay, 2 or 3. I'm going to give you another minute. Anybody not finished? By show of hands? Perfect. So I want you to give us a couple of shares. I want to get a couple of answers from the crowd. 5 things that get you really excited. The things you really wanted that are on your bucket list. Yeah, please send up.
Robert, the first thing would be travel to many destinations in the world, which I haven't been in. I like the high-end sports cars, fast cars. Possibly at some point in time have a professional drag racing team. And many of the sporting events would be the 4th one, professional sporting events, and then also like 4-meter races and the oval track type races.
Awesome.
And
thank you very much. Give me a big round of applause. I want to get 2 more. Volunteer, voluntold. Who else would like to share? Yes, please sit down.
I'll share one. So more time for sailing, and I'd like to be sailing the tropics. And speaking of tropics, we both would like a place in the tropics to live in. Winter gets cold. I'd like to do a lot of travel as well. I've done a lot of traveling, and I never got tired of it. That was the same. I play in a band. I'd like to do something with music. That would be extremely cool. And
Awesome.
Also technology. I've been working in technology all my life, and I enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Give a big round of applause. Okay, one more. One more. If you don't put it out to the universe, it's not going to become real. So, yes. Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't get a chance to go to like the university or anything, so I always wanted to get a degree in like either something like psychology or design or architecture, something like that. Home in the mountains, like closer to the mountains. So just knock on my door and
Walk out.
nice summer vehicle, probably like an older BMW or an older Porsche or something like that. Always travel, especially to Europe. I love architecture, so view a lot of those older churches and buildings where there's a huge passion there. And then basically just the money to provide a good life for our family and have family and that life I want to take care of.
Excellent. Give him a big round of applause. So the reason why I wanted to go through this exercise is because I want you to have a burning desire inside. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, he says that that's one of the common traits he found with all the successful people he studied. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Firestone, is that they had a burning desire of things that they wanted. I want you to get up excited every morning. Every morning you get out of bed, regardless of what's going on in your life, and be excited to take the steps you need to work closer and closer to those goals, and do what it takes to work towards them. Who would like to be excited every day no matter what happens in your life? By show of hands. Yeah, we all want that. So, by show of hands, who's learned something here today? Awesome. Terrific. So, one of the problems that we found with real estate and business investments is the following. I'm going to skim over these really quick. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to dedicate focus to those ventures when you're working full-time, like I did, and many people in this room have been. Learning a lot of new skills, having to due diligence on 50, 60 properties. I don't think anybody other than two put up their hands and said they wanted to do that in a month. So time, it's our most precious resource. It requires specialized skills. A lot of specialized skills to be able to do real estate analysis and create a winning business plan if you're going to get bank financing for your business venture. And corporate finance for business, what does that look like? What loan to value can I get away with? Training and staffing, payroll and taxes, how do you deal with CPP and EI, and how do you find an accountant that's going to work in your best interest, and be a little bit creative, because being inside the box is what's going to cost you the most money. And creating a team. Creating a team, like people like Mike Sherrard on my team here in Calgary, is critical. And building a team in different markets, in Edmonton, in Texas, in Dallas, across borders. Finding the right professionals that are going to work with you as an investor, not with you as a retail person. Finding contractors who are going to do a good job. You don't have to watch over their shoulder all the time. Make sure they're going to do a good job on renovations. Finding quality staff, compensating those staff in a creative way that they think like you. They think like the owner. Just like a property management company that doesn't own a stick of real estate. How good do you think they're going to be?
Not very good.
Not very good. Because they don't think like you. You don't think like an owner. They get a fee like the bank no matter what happens. That's not what you want on your team. You got to find good people, motivate them so they work with you to have everybody making good money in the process. And then sales and marketing. This is one of the biggest skills that I had to learn coming from the corporate world as an engineer. I worked alone a lot of the time. I didn't have to deal with people a fair bit. Who likes sales by show of hands? Well, I've got news for you folks that didn't raise your hand. You have to be in sales in some form or fashion if you're going to be in business, if you're going to be in real estate, if you're going to deal with customers and customer service. How do you service those customers and make sure they're having an experience all the time to the best of your abilities? Would it be alright if I told you about a solution to some of these typical problems by show of hands? Alright? Excellent. So like I said earlier, I wanted to have a one-on-one strategy session with each and every one of you to help you in any way that I can, inside what we talked about or even outside of what we talked about today. So we're going to go over a bunch of different things, answer your questions on how to get started with small amounts of money, how to diversify your current investments based on the percentages you worked out, how to leverage your pillars of wealth to accelerate those turns on your capital, and answers your questions about how to get started with no money, how to increase the velocity of your money and leverage the time velocity of money. And any questions you have, I'm at your disposal. Staffing, deal you have you want to analyze, a business, how do I get business financing, referral to a great lawyer, anything you need, I'm here to help you absolutely every step of the way. This is your time. We have this one-on-one strategy session. Anything you need help with, I'm here to help. How to eliminate analysis paralysis. If you said, this is my goal, I want to create cash flow. I met an investor just the other day. They said they want to buy a rental property in Calgary. We talked about it. We talked about their goals. And then we found a different solution, which they've never seen, and they are really excited about, which is going to get them faster results, get the better returns in their cash, and they're going to wind up with 5 times the properties in half the time. Who would like that by show of hands? Actually, that's what my knowledge, my experience working for you can do for you. And how to get started with no money. Who would like to get started with no money in real estate and in businesses by show of hands? Fantastic. So, can you please pass out the forms? Team? So while they're doing that, it's a little bit hard to read on the screen, so I'm just going to go over a couple of testimonials from some of my one-on-one clients. So I'm going to skim through this beginning part. I love the ladies actually in the room. So originally she had watched one of those shows on TV and found some of that real estate education from the US. Wanted an alternative from Canadian by Canadians. So this is what she said. When I called Tim, he's happy to meet me, explained his background and his coaching program. He offers to those who like to learn more about investing. Soon after working with him, he helped us set out a real estate company, set us up with new contacts, the members of his team in various industries, analyze deals with them, provide opportunities for us to network, like this one right here, of like-minded people. And cares about achieving your success and is encouraging of all investors, particularly new ones. Now, a few months later, we've gone from bundling for our first rental on our own, finding a property is a great deal, renovating it in much shorter time frame, setting up our business and website, becoming confident in our numbers. We're analyzing a deal. So we took that analysis paralysis and got it right off the table. That was played by Dave Brienne. And another thing about Brienne is somebody told her that her dreams weren't reasonable, somebody that had the same last name. And sorry if I share this, that they said, why would you want to get that acreage you've always wanted so fast? And now she's done it in about less than half the time what she originally planned. And that's to do small part of what I've helped her out with. And that's something that your mindset is the only thing you have control of is the 6 inches between your ears. So you have to fill your circle and your environment with people who are going to support what you want to do. The 5 things on the list. If somebody says, oh, this is not realistic, or why would you want to do that so fast? Spend time with them over turkey dinner. You don't listen to their advice. Unless someone's got a net worth, double or triple your own, maybe you shouldn't listen to them about wealth and success. My point there is, talk to the plumber about plumbing. Don't ask the butcher to fix your sink. Does that make sense? Fantastic. So another gentleman we've worked with as well is also in this room. Phoenix Real Estate Investing Mentorship Programs completely changed the way I approached my business. Before I entered the mentorship program, I was timid and fearful of moving forward. To help me structure and set up my business with ease. I've only had 3 meetings so far, 3 sessions into the program. He already got his first deal closed. Let's give that a big round of applause. The system works. I would not be close to where I am without the help of Phoenix Real Estate. Thanks. So this is about one-on-one clients, and more than happy to have you talk to some of our other investors in the investing sense. And that's Brett Wall, this gentleman sitting right here. He's a rock star. He's working with the purple team with Mike Chevard. This kid is going to be on fire. Just give him a couple of months. He's going to be top producer in that brokerage. So it's been said that 80% of success is showing. You've done that. You played full out. You did all the activities. You spun around 3 times. And you were here to learn. And you actually put in the effort and time it takes. That's more than most people are doing on a Saturday in the middle of their weekend. So I commend you for that. Well, so what I'm going to do, because you're here, you're committed, so on the sheet in front of you, you see a couple prices on there. So normally it's $9.97 is what I charge for one-on-one meetings now. As a bonus, we're going to do this for 2 people, so that's $19.94. But because you're here, because you're committed, I want you to cross out the $9.97, cross that out. I want you to cross out the $19.94. You're not going to pay that either. Today, for being here and spending time with us, it's my gift to you. So, there's also a bonus. I said I talked to you about the slides. If everybody fills in a form and wants to have a discussion to see how we can help you out, check the box as well with the thing you're most excited about, most interested about, because I want to be as efficient as possible. Get that piece out of the way so we can get into the whatever you want component of our call. Does that make sense? Perfect. So if you could please fill in those forms. I'll be at the back if you have any questions. Thank you so very much for listening. And I'll be in the back room if you have any questions. Please hand your forms in to Blake. Here at the front. You can migrate to the table for him, bud. Thank you. Pass your forms off to him. We're going to take a 15-minute break. How many minutes?
15.
Great. Bathrooms are down the hall. You can go grab coffee if you like. 15 minutes or stuff across the road. You can go grab a snack. And then our next speaker, Confident Claudia, is going to be coming up, and she's going to rock your world.
I don't feel on assignment right now.
She's going to rock your world. That's better. Thank you so very much for listening. I'll be here if you have any questions over a 15-minute break. It's 2:27 right now, so we'll give you an extra 3 minutes. Back at 2:40. We're back when?
2:40.
Thanks.